Greetings, chromatic warriors! Yes, oh yes, they say that good trilogies come in threes, and here we are with a third and final installment in the Ogre Kingdom's Gorger. I don't have a good name for it. I usually think of a fun name. Brad is complete now, and I used to think that this was a female sculpt. The hourglass figure of the Gorger combined with the bra line necklace. I thought I was painting a lady ogre, but whatever, it's a Brad now. So we're going to be going over some of the final touches. You can probably see Brad behind me. I still have a little bit of work to do evening out the tide line between the water effects and the plinth. Every time I work with something, I create a project with a water feature, it snags me somehow. It slows me down in a small way, but it takes what it takes. So let's have a look at those final touches. Into the realm of final touches. I'm going to round off the hair to begin. And overall, I want this hair to carry a certain lightness to it. So I'm going to focus mainly on mid-tone and highlight colors. It's already been base coated using the surrounding skin tones, Castle Gray, Night Sky, Brainmatter Beige. And now I'm just lightening it up with some Great Hall Gray to begin. Lovely. Next up, I'm bringing Ancient Stone into the progression, and it's a very subtle shift. I apologize if it's not very visible on camera, but it is just a slight step into the warm direction. It's a very, very light ivory, which is being placed on top of light gray. And the idea here is it'll add just a little bit of a blondish hue as I'm trying to create albino skin tone. And I think it will also kind of look a little dirty, and that's good for Gorgers. Lovely dirty blonde. I was going to highlight this with Brainmatter Beige before, but I decided to go for pure white instead. It just gives me... Everything is so subtle. Why not jump just a little bit further with the pure white? And it makes it look that much more silvery. Yeah, just a little bit of capping off and some very kind of sharp, glistening highlights, as hair should be looked at as a reflective material. Somewhat of a non-metallic metal approach can be applied to it. Even a Gorger can have a nice dangling curl with these luscious locks. So, yeah, that's looking nice. Hold hands, everyone. It's time to dot the I's. Yikes. So, painting one eye is hard enough. Painting the second eye and making them look in the same direction, we'll see about that. Okay, moment of silence. Not bad, not bad. I'm using black plus Raging Rose. Create a pinkish tone, seeing as they're albino. And, alright, I think I have room for a small dilated pupil. And finally, just a small dot of Raging Rose right in the middle of the pupil. Nice. Time to decorate that inner maw. I can see the hangy ball at the back of the throat. It's been base coated with Dragon Red, black, and a little bit of Raging Rose. I know, call me crazy, but that is the combination. I don't know if you can see inside of the mouth, but I'm bringing in small amounts of Raging Rose to highlight things. And yes, the little ball at the back of the throat. Pull that up very slightly. It's a diluted amount of paint, so it's going to dry in a semi-transparent finish. So any of these highlights towards the back of the throat would be a little reduced in that way. And they're much more slight than the top of the tongue, where the light is coming straight down. If I can give an internal view. Let's get that bulb one more time. We'll go to absolute black the back of the throat. And we'll highlight up with worn stone. I think it should be good. I'll be able to use, varying layers of worn stone to bring things up. A little touch on the gums as well. Neato. Let's talk about those shackles. So previously it was base coated up using mixtures of black and Brainmatter beige, creating a sort of off gray tone. And so I've put that same mixture back to work now on my palette, mixing up a 3-4 color progression. I may have to mix up some more, but yeah, we're going to make some very diminished steel. And the first step in doing that is laying down zenithal highlight. Following that, I'm jumping up a lot brighter by just adding more Brainmatter beige into the mix, but now I'm pulling out some of the kind of smaller reflections. Check out my video, Advanced Non-Metallic Metal, for a little more information on finding the light sourcing. But basically, you want to analyze your surface and try to kind of over-embellish the subtle shifts in the light in order to create a more dramatic non-metallic metal reflection. And of course, this will have to be accomplished in many thin coats, but as you can see, I don't mind a little bit of roughness. I think it's on theme with the model. Have this shackle a little bent and broken. Very nice. I'd like to go and hem things up a little bit by adding pure black. Some of the crevices, and I'll be lining around these objects like the chain right here, and also adding a greater depth of shadow in some specific areas. And after that darkening, now I've moved up to nearly a pure Brainmatter beige mixture. I want to lay these highlights down in very small portions to emulate a slightly tarnished yet reflective material. Alright, that progression is coming together nicely. I'm coming in with just some pure white, laying it down in the slightest amounts. A little bit of an edge highlight here, putting a tiny dot or a slash on these teeth that are attached to the manacle. You can see the a nice swell of reflections coming together around the top of his wrist. See it happening in the other on the chain. I'll give you kind of an all-around view. You can see I'm still working on smoothing things out, but yeah, I like where the placement has come together. Now it's just down to a little refinement. May have to jump back into my progression of colors, but that's a wrap on the old manacle. Arg, what be these tiny piercing needles that rain doth from the skies? Just one more step, I need to take care of these arrows. First, starting with a base coat of Fiendish yellow, I need to carefully pick out every little piece with Daemonic yellow. Following that, I want to delicately apply some minuscule portions of space dust. Just slowly working through this progression, and yeah, it's nice to have the right colors straight out of the bottle. I was mixing before, but decided I wanted something a little more vibrant than another workup from mixing Brainmatter beige. Oh me, oh my, nice and bright. I'm going to cap it off with tiny dots of white. Tonight. Nice. For the shaft of the arrow, it'll be nice and simple. I'm taking leather brown, small amounts of black, just mixing those together, and I want a slightly deeper side facing down, slightly brighter side facing upwards. Just want to polish that up and get a nice saturated coat. Be very careful near the base of the feathers. Oh yeah, and I was kind of mocking myself for using Brainmatter Beige earlier. Well, guess what? Who's the fool? It's me. A little bit of Brainmatter Beige mixed into that leather brown will give me the perfect highlight. Now I think just one more touch of the stuff. A little bit of lava orange, very dilute. Just want to work it between the crevices, plant it at the root. Just adds a little bit of a shadow and some necessary vibrance. And I think the more foreign to the environment that these arrows look, the better. Very nice. Hallelujah, we made it, soldier. Give me a 360. Gorgeous green, spinning leaves, and probably the smoothest paint job I've rendered in a long time. Like I was saying before, it takes what it takes, and I have layered so much pigment onto this because, yes, it is for the Golden Demon, and cream always rises in that competition. You want everything to be technically sound. So I hope that this series of videos has enlightened you. In the past, I'm very proud to have captured the painting process on the Beast Snaga's boss and then winning a Golden Demon with it. So let's do it again. I thank you for your support. You know, I'm aiming high here and shooting a long shot, hoping to place in a competition that hands out 3 trophies, and I like it that way. So, until we meet again, Chromatic Warriors, let me know how you feel in the comment section down below. We are free to share feelings as deep-thinking artists here on this page. Alright, I'll talk to you soon.